Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have trusted Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. Just tell Progressive what you want to pay, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Visit Progressive.com to find a car insurance rate that works for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Why have I asked my electrician I found on Angie.com to bury my pet hamster? I was so moved by how carefully he buried my electrical wires, I knew I could trust him to bury my sweet nibbles after his untimely end.
This is very strange.
Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find pros for all your home projects at Angie.com.
A roast as dark as the night, perfect for fueling the cryptid research and mad ravings required for your podcasting. Don't mind the red eyes, he's just trying to warn you of the bridge.
The bridge!
Finally, from the caffeine-addled brains of Spring Heel Jack Coffee and Last Podcast on the Left, we bring you Mothman's Red Eye Blend. Yes, delicious Panama beans. Go to lastpodcastmerch.com to order yours today.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
You find though, then you always find out there's always somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I think that I am the most charming, funniest guy in the world, and there's some people that just, I don't know what it is. They just dislike me.
Yeah.
Just upon introduction. Yeah. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why, maybe to some, because jealousy, obviously.
Yeah, they're so jealous.
It's the jealousy.
Especially when they don't know your profession or anything about you. They're just intrinsically jealous.
Just they look at that guy. You're like,
of your presence.
His vibe. Jealous of his vibe. It's an enviable vibe.
They must be jealous of my shows that I've done on television. Or
no.
I don't know anything about you.
But it's why there's so many people come up to me and they're all like, "What's your fucking deal?" Right? They say that to me, and I'm like, I'm glad that you asked. And I'm like, ooh, so natural magnetism, of course. But maybe it's because I'm not a harbinger of doom.
Maybe it is. Welcome to the last podcast on the left, everyone. Ben hanging out with Marcus and the ever charming effervescent.
I was going to say effervescent.
I take that.
Henry Zabrowski.
Acquired taste. Taste, Henry Zabrowski. It's good to be back.
Remember those air quotes candies that were called warheads?
Yeah.
You're kind of like that. At first, you're like, bleh, bleh. But over time, you get used to it.
That's me. Then you're addicted.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I had a jar of those fucking things. And I don't know why I chose to suffer.
We all were like this when we were kids. I don't know why. We all liked whatever was the sourest thing. Mm-hmm. That's what I was into.
I know.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, today's episode, I'm
already mad that we even started not even talking about the fact that Mothman knew about goddamn 9/11 and did fucking nothing.
Well, Mothman
did absolutely nothing.
We don't know Mothman's political leanings. Also,
do you think he's with the Saudis?
Well, does he does Mothman like buildings, or does he if he truly is moth-like, he would probably fly into them all the time and bonk his head.
He would have loved the World Trade Center.
Maybe it was the fireball that attracted him.
Could be.
Building 7.
So today's episode, a little palate cleanser from all the very serious things we've been talking about. Is it?
This is fucking serious. I have 2 drinks in either hand. We're here. Also, we're going to remind you about the Mothman Coffee Blend.
Very good.
We did that. That's a fucking promo at the very top. This is serious as hell.
All right, we're on to Mothman Redux, part 1 of a 30 series.
So
I just tried to add a third. This morning I tried to add a third, and he said
really
no.
Did.
So.
He was
fine with it.
He's like, did you know that Mothman might have been involved with 9/11? Did you know that I found a book about this? And did you know we might have enough for a third episode? And I said, did you know we're not going to have a third episode?
His eyes rolled back in his head in a way and then shot down of his body and came out of his asshole.
Did you know Mothman was there when they were building the Egyptian pyramids? Or could it be Mothman himself was, I don't know, a pyramid?
He's just trying to warn you of everything and doing nothing.
I could literally
he's the king of the virtual signal. He's the virtue signaler of all of cryptids.
I know we're just going to hop right into it here in a second. Yeah. But for the second to the last year that we do this show, can we just do an entire year on cryptids?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am just so I love anything that isn't about any human.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of those episodes are going to be about, 12 minutes long.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, it's going to be the cryptid year, and then we begin. That's how you know the show is ending, when we start our Illuminati series and we go on and on, and we chase the listener away.
Mothman Redux Part 1.
So in 1966, two couples in Point Pleasant, West Virginia reported to the local sheriff that during a joyride at the TNT plant outside of town, they encountered a bizarre creature beyond anything they'd ever seen.
Also, that's how boring life used to be. You used to just go on a joyride to nowhere.
I
And
still
you ju-
kind of do.
Yeah, I love riding around.
Well, that's because you got to see Jay Leno next to a car that was on fire with his hands in his pockets.
Welcome to LA.
I
all
did.
sad and angry on the side of the highway.
I did. His car was not on fire, but he was bloated and sad and wearing a Canadian tuxedo.
That's all he wears.
He was doing what he loves best.
Yeah, waiting
Standing
for-
next to a car on fire. That's what he likes.
Just like us.
Yeah, no, man, growing up in a small town, I rode around constantly. That was all we did. We did the drag. We had that nice tea. You got turn around at the hill. You turn around over the Pimmons house. You turn around at the Molyneux's house. You turn around over the Atkinson house. It's
fascinating.
And then you do it again.
Yeah,
You
I'm
do
sure-
it again and again. You do it for about 3 hours.
I'm sure the Molyneux's house was very happy with it.
Oh, very much so.
Well, by their reports, the creature was shaped like a 7-foot-tall man sporting massive wings on his back. But what terrified these two couples the most were the creature's saucer-like, blazing red eyes.
Beware the red eyes.
That creature, of course, was the cryptid that sits at, and I might get some pushback from this.
Okay.
I'm going to put this cryptid at number 4
Whoa.
on the most famous
Fuck you.
cryptid list.
Fuck that.
I mean, I don't think that that's inappropriate.
Well, look, here's his list.
Bigfoot.
Yes.
Yes.
Loch Ness Monster.
Yes.
This is the controversial one. Chupacabra.
See, that's bias.
No,
That's bias because he's a chupacabra.
No, he's a chupacabra fan. He's seen a few chupacabra or starving dogs in Texas.
Yes.
But I actually think that might be true.
I
Yeah.
think that Mothman is number 3.
I think that Mothman is one of those bands that's like really big within the cryptid community,
Yeah.
but amongst the people at large, the population at large, Mothman is not big. Mothman is the Sonic Youth of cryptids.
I was saying more like Husker Du.
Husker Du?
No. I would say the Flatwoods Monster is more the Husker Du. That's
you.
We got Husker Do's, we got Husker Don'ts.
the Hodag. That's Husker Du.
Actually,
That's
some people say
Wisconsin.
the Flatwood Monster is just the Mothman in another form.
The creature that sits at number 4
Okay.
on our cryptid countdown is the Mothman. Now, we skimmed the Mothman story when we did our Men in Black series a few years back, but the Mothman story and the story of Mothmen in general are not exclusively linked to the MIBs.
No, they are, the MIBs are a side effect of the Mothman. We discovered, and we got into the topic of Men in Black because we were really scared by it and interested in it. But the Mothman story as a whole, once we got into the actual research behind it, because I've read the Mothman prophecies, obviously many times by John Keel, and you get kind of the overall story about this cryptid, and you don't really, at the time, we're like, oh, well, the Mothman's like a simple story. The Men in Black is like a cool, complex story. But now you kind of look at it, there's actually many aspects to the Mothman story, and it's actually kind of complicated and oftentimes quite controversial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the reason why Mothman is so closely linked to the Men in Black is because the Mothman is the most famous case involving the Men in Black. This is not least because of the massive and deadly bridge collapse that happened during the Great Mothman Flap of the mid-60s. But we'll get to the Silver Bridge in episode 2.
Okay.
For this series, we're going to be focusing mostly on the Mothman itself, although we will take some side quest into the mysterious goings-on that occurred around the Mothman story. Specifically, in episode 2, we're going to explore the enigmatic character known as Indrid Cold.
And also,
Oh, yeah.
what did Mothman know or not know about 9/11, and why was he there and do nothing? Why did
Yeah.
he do nothing? Even though, because we know for a fact that the Men in Black were actually just MK Ultra trained former German Nazi scientists that were there, that were used to be a smokescreen because they were acting super weird in order to cover the fact that the Nazi UFO program had been moved since the end of World War II to the TNT area of West Virginia.
Buddy, fast forward 1:30 in the morning at a bar and you just made yourself a point.
Or could it be that the Mothman is like the Watchmen and that they witness but are not allowed to interfere?
With Dr. Manhattan.
Well, what's the point?
These men,
Well, Dr.
these
Manhattan,
humans. What's the
Dr.
story?
Manhattan chose to not interfere.
All
What's
I
he say
remember
about
is that
these
sex
men,
scene.
their schedule? What is he? This thing, how they choose for me to be amongst them?
Yeah, their schedules is that for me, the goings-on of man is no more significant than the goings-on of an atom or a neutron. So why should I care of the goings-on of man.
Wow, what a shock. Whoa, man, that's cool.
What is it? Is that Zaslav?
Wow, that's really powerful. Wow.
Now, of course, the man who brought the Mothman story to the world was paranormal legend John Keel, whose 1976 book, The Mothman Prophecies,
My boy!
was turned into a better than you'd expect Richard Gere movie in 2002.
Incorrect.
No, I
just watched it last night.
Yep.
Well, I watched it about 10 years ago, and it was fun.
And I watched it like a year and a half ago, and I really liked it.
12 hours ago. Sucked. You know what it is?
It's because you're bringing a level of intensity to the film.
Expectation.
This is a Richard Gere vehicle about the Mothman. Relax.
You put me in a corner. Never put Henry in a corner. But John Keel, what I like about it is that they split John Keel into two people. Yeah. So it's the John, I think his name is like Creef or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then there's the scientist lady or the cop lady, Laura Linney, whose name like something Leak, which is Keel backwards or some garbage. But what it is, it's Richard Gere trying to talk like John Keel that you will see is not how John Keel talks.
Yeah, because no one knows how John Keel talks.
You're going to see. We're going to show you a clip today.
Okay.
But Richard Gere's going,
now, I come down here, I'm looking at this Mothman.
he's doing this weird New York accent the whole time because John Keel's from the Upper West Side.
It's vaguely distracting, but the movie itself is still, the devices they use in the movie are still fun. Like when he shows up at the house and it's like, You've been here 3 times now.
Yeah, that is a good thing. The whole time I was like, that's not Mothman. That's not the Mothman story I know.
How do you please the audience?
I don't know.
Suck its dick. Suck the audience's dick.
All right.
John Keel, however, was not pleased with the fact that he was known until the day he died as the Mothman guy.
Well, John Keel felt that his massive body of work was a far too, how do you put it? It was put into a little Mothman box.
Yeah.
And like, while we are showing that the Mothman box is actually much bigger than we originally thought it was, John Keel had a whole life of writing about these Fortean topics. He was an incredible investigator, died a bachelor, which is a real paranormal investigator.
I don't disagree with that.
No time for love. No time for a single kiss. I don't think he's ever been hugged.
No.
Because he basically lived a life rolling in the same aspects of Charles Fort that was like kind of his predecessor who put together all of these stories of the weird.
We'll get to him here in a second.
But he felt that they should have been cataloged. And John Keel believed in that idea and then moved forward with it. And then he was kind of doing it in an empirical way, like believing this concept of like, we're looking for hard evidence of the weird. Mm-hmm. And him and Jacques Vallée both sort of like figured out, what if we just like understand that it is a psychic and physical scenario, and that's going to be they are the kind of the birth of this concept of ultra terrestrials. That everything we see with cryptids, UFOs, ghosts, aliens, they're all the same kind of phenomena, the capital P phenomena, and that they are all like different. They're there to teach us some kind of lesson. And we don't know what that is.
Well, I wonder why they had a hard time fitting in. This was such a nice, totally A to B. I get it. It's the same. It reminds me of Bill Clinton. Everyone focuses on the blowjobs, but they forget about how many black people are incarcerated. Let's see the whole picture.
Well, let's break down that Keel belief system.
Breakdown.
Now, John Keel can be counted amongst those paranormal researchers who follow the theoretical models of Charles Fort, who maintain that all unexplained phenomena actually did have some sort of rational explanation. Forteans, as Charles Fort's followers are called, see themselves as ultimately skeptics.
Cool skeptics.
Cool skeptics, not just asshole skeptics.
No, not Mick West.
No John Nichols.
Okay.
They welcome simple explanations for paranormal phenomena, like when someone confuses a meteor for a UFO, or when a dead chupacabra proves itself to be a mange-ridden dog.
Yeah.
It is important to note, however, that Forteans do not employ the term paranormal.
Yeah, asshole.
What did I do?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I struck out at you.
Yeah. Paranormal, of course, has negative connotations. It implies that there's something unreal about all this, something unexplainable. Mm-hmm. Instead, they prefer to classify such phenomena as ghosts, UFOs, and cryptids as the Fortean milieu.
Yeah. Why don't we just call it paranormal? The Fortean milieu sounds like something you do after an all-you-can-eat buffet. No,
They are, because I understand. The idea is to set, these guys were the first on the forefront of like, maybe that one day humankind will have a new science that will explain all of these things that includes psychic aspects. That's where John Keel jumped from the Fortean ideas.
Yeah. For example, the Ghostbusters would be considered Fortean.
Yes, Dan Aykroyd, by far. Well,
in real life as well, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But that being said, when it comes to entities in the Fortean milieu, like poltergeists and Bigfoots, Forteans believe that if something unexplained is not a hoax or a misidentification, that there is still a rational explanation for the phenomena. Just like
I love it.
Yeah, just like there's a rational explanation for, say, like, let's just use the Aurora Borealis.
Yeah,
as
we
an
all
example.
know. That's angel farts. We all know that. All right? It's stupid. It's a dumb phenomena.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it should be wiped out.
Might be. What if it's God's meth?
Yeah,
leaves it on the table.
Fucking bong, dude. It's him up there thinking about the fucking platypus, dude.
I mean, seriously, how did God think of the platypus?
Well,
He didn't.
Oh, okay.
The way Forteans figure it, the Aurora Borealis was something that you could see, but for thousands upon thousands of years, people could not explain what the Aurora Borealis was or why it did what it did. Now we can absolutely explain what it is and why it does what it does.
I mean, I can't.
No, I don't know.
But like science can.
I also don't care.
I think it has something to do with the magnetic fields of the Earth.
Oh, wow.
I think.
I thought it's got to do. Is cosmic dust real?
Sure, why not? Also, did you know that waves are just caused by dolphins farting?
That's my bet. He literally, I just said that Aurora Borealis was angel's fart. You just said the thing.
No,
That's
I
my
just said
bet.
farting. Did you know? Okay, fine, I'll redo it. Did you know that waves are just caused by sharks yawning?
I
didn't steal your bit.
Are you sure he's not the one made by a machine?
I am made in a lab. I was the scientist that made Henry in a lab.
God, I'd love to see that beaker.
Well, to prove that this line of thinking is sound, Lauren Coleman, author of Mothman and Other Curious Encounters, he cites the oft-repeated example given by cryptozoologists when anyone tells them that cryptozoology doesn't even belong in the same building as so-called respectable zoology.
Everybody's immediately offended.
Yeah, just there's room for everyone.
I think it's the fact that crypto is in the name.
Yeah, crypto
that makes everybody upset.
Everyone hates when crypto is attached to anything. It makes you feel weird.
I like it, though.
Yeah. See, back in the mid-1800s, rumors were abound in Europe of a gigantic black-furred, hollow-eyed, man-killing monster deep within the jungles of Africa that was strong enough to beat an elephant to death.
Whoa.
Now, the elephant beating was an exaggeration. I looked it up. This animal cannot beat an elephant to death. It would lose in a fight against an elephant.
I'd love to see it, though.
But this creature does indeed exist. In 1847, a large humanoid skull was found by an explorer named Paul de Chaillu. And by 1850, a living specimen of this creature was found, and they identified it, and they named it the gorilla.
You see? And you see now.
But, interesting. So the gorilla was a cryptid in the 1800s.
The gorilla is absolutely a cryptid.
Well, that's very interesting.
I am going to, though, just say, okay, for all you cryptos.
Are you going to say gorillas aren't real?
No, they are
Okay,
real. I'm just saying that, like, they use these examples all the time.
Yeah, they do. They really
and
love
the
these
thing is
examples.
that what I do understand, but the thing about a gorilla is that we had other monkeys. And we had seen other monkeys.
but not
so you
the
can
gorilla.
extrapolate. But you can extrapolate a creature like this kind of exists.
It's not a monkey, it's an ape.
But I'm just fucking saying that when you say stuff like a Mothman, right? We haven't seen one yet. Really, we haven't seen other examples of it. We haven't seen a Chihuahua man. We haven't seen anything. We haven't seen a build up to a Mothman. I haven't even seen a bird with big enough legs that I would consider closely man-like.
An ostrich.
Yeah, the ostrich. What about a flamingo?
Yeah.
I think that you know what I'm saying. It's just cryptozoologists are all going like, but in fact, it did exist. Like they just love this.
It's not the only example, though. It's not the only example.
Well, this is just a little life tidbit from Ben Kissel. If there's a neighbor in your house or in your neighborhood that puts flamingos out only one time sporadically throughout the year, that means they're having a swingers party, and that's to locate the swingers party. It's the flamingos. That's true with amongst swingers.
Wow.
I'm just glad your research from the show it really does. It makes content.
It does.
And on it went like this, from the gorilla. This happened over the next century. It happened with goofy little creatures like the pygmy hippopotamus.
But we had big hippopotamus.
cute.
We had big.
But did we have anything close to the platypus?
A duck.
No. No, we didn't.
I know. I'm just saying. It's just, yeah. All right.
This proves that Mothman could exist.
Yeah.
We just don't know where he is.
I know. It's just the thing about that. How
don't you appreciate this?
But what of the fearsome creatures?
How do you get these nerds to be happy,
don't know.
Marcus?
You can't suck the nerd's dick.
But what of the Komodo dragon, which is considered to be a myth?
I know.
What of the great Kraken?
There you go. It's
That
just a
was-
big ass fucking squid.
The giant squid, my friend.
I agree. I'm just saying it's the look of the victory in the face of the cryptozoologist that I can't handle. It's their satisfaction.
Yeah.
They should be satisfied.
The point is, most cryptozoologists believe themselves to be a legitimate arm of zoology, even if zoologists do not extend their hand in friendship in kind.
Everybody's fighting because it,
Well,
because
it derails their entire true science of zoology.
But
Yeah.
zoologists also I think they're just fucking jealous.
They might
that someone's
be.
coming in on their money. They're trying to fuck with. You know how much money's in zoology?
Lauren Coleman calls it cultural elitism.
Yeah.
And that very well may be the case when you consider the sheer number of sightings that occurred during the West Virginia Mothman flap of the 1960s. Now, you may say that using a gorilla in this comparison is a false equivalency, because those animals were hidden deep in the wilds of Africa, far from any sort of city or town or anything.
And
of
we
like.
already had other monkeys. We had other monkeys. We had examples of other monkeys.
You made your point, Henry.
I'm just saying in terms
You've
of
made your point.
They're apes. But when it comes to the Mothman's environment, while it may not be as dangerous and inaccessible as the Congo, West Virginia is a healthy rival.
I call that our Congo.
No, West Virginia is one of America's forgotten states. So obscure that I'm willing to bet that most of you would have a hard time naming any city or town in West Virginia besides Point Pleasant. Ben, go. City in West Virginia.
Pulled pork, West Virginia.
Springfield. I bet you there's a Springfield.
I'm sure there's a
Yeah, that's
Springfield.
just-
Also, you'd be surprised how many states have a Dublin. There's a lot of states with a
and
Dublin.
Paris. There's many states with a Paris. Yeah.
There's a Springfield, West Virginia, yeah.
Is there a pulled pork, West Virginia?
no applaud.
Yeah, how
No
many?
applause.
But you know how many people are in Springfield, West Virginia? 421.
It counts. I mean, it does count.
And the one that just died made it 420.
Whoa, time to get stoned.
Well, smack dab in the middle of Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and actual Virginia, West Virginia is a seldom visited, seldom spoken of state that is neither northern, southern, nor midwestern.
Well, Jared Logan, our comedian friend, he talks about West Virginia in his
He's from there.
stand-up set many times. And I remember the one time he told the story about his grandmother who's like, we have the juice boxes. She's like, and she used to call them squeezies.
Yeah, I
She's like,
remember-
you boys get in this house. You want to sell some squeezies?
That's cute,
It was
though.
cute. It was real
Yeah.
cute. That's his bit.
Yeah. With a population that barely edges out Rhode Island, despite being 20 times larger in size,
Dang.
West Virginia is the only state that is completely within the Appalachia region, making it heavily forested. It is also, of course, heavily mined, which has greatly degraded its quality of life.
Good, clean coal. Absolutely.
watching-
Joe Manchin, thank you for the coal.
I was watching a thing where a guy was in a coal mine in town. That's just something else. That's where these people don't know. They don't know if that coal mining goes. This whole town's going with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, I know it's very hard, but
I
I know, but we'll get something in there.
Absolutely.
Now, dense forests, abandoned coal mines, the 7th highest cancer rates in the country, and the highest per capita opioid deaths by a disturbingly large margin.
I mean, the nice thing is you just flip it and say, we're number one.
Yeah, number 2 is like 60 deaths per 1,000, and West Virginia is 90 deaths per 1,000. Of course, that's because, West Virginia was where OxyContin was first tested on all of the aforementioned miners because they suffer from many chronic pain.
And the forgotten people, Appalachian.
Yeah.
The Appalachian forgotten people.
Mhm.
They don't just make moonshine.
Yeah. Well, this might be...
Well, they do make a lot of moonshine.
They do make
They
a
do.
lot of money.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, this might be contributing factors as to why the population of West Virginia is so low. But perhaps it could also be that West Virginia seems to repel people on a subconscious level.
Marcus, or could it be?
Or could it be?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, excuse me. Or could it be, perhaps, that West Virginia repels people on a subconscious level.
Not like me.
I
Because
don't know. It's a very
Bring
conscious
in.
level.
I bring
No,
in.
you repel people very consciously.
Yes, it is a choice.
West Virginia, you see, just like the Jersey Devil's home in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, is a weird place where weird shit happens.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just the Mothman. I got a fun little, it's from the same book, just a couple just to understand what else people have been seeing at the time period during the Mothman, the flap. The story of Kathy Reeves. This was in 1966, around the same year that the Mothman sighting started. She saw 3 tiny tree stumps walking across a meadow near her home.
Walking trees.
It's cute. That is the only real example of walking trees I found. Well, now
I showed some videos on the stream. But.
these walking stumps were orange, blue, white, yellow, and watermelon color.
Oh, they sound like they sound like Smurf houses.
Wait, but do they not have the color green?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's green.
Maybe it's
isn't
hard to source. There was another local couple that saw a group of cyclops. They believe they saw a group of cyclops out in the woods talking at them. These people saw poltergeist
that may have
activity.
just been Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I'll be here all week, folks. You'll see me on the Tonight Show tomorrow.
He's gonna be in Vegas again. You show up front row. If you have a fucking sign that says "I'm Irish," Kissel's gonna nail you. All right, but no, it is an example of this. A lot of weird shit happens all at once in a paranormal activity area. So it's poltergeist activity, UFOs, cryptids, weird shit, and people will see them kind of all at once.
Yeah. And of course, the other popular cryptid out of West Virginia, that's the Flatwoods Monster.
Yes.
That's in Braxton County. But we're going to give the Flatwoods Monster its own episode in the future.
Unless, again, it's Mothman in another form.
Well, we'll cover that when we cover the Flatwoods Monster.
You're still trying to attach another episode to this series.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Rise from your grave.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out online. Yes, that's right. You don't have to smash your face with a hammer. You can just start a business. It's got everything you need on Squarespace, from securing your domain to building a professional site and showcasing your work all in one place. Let's say you want to show everybody how you can carve your ribs out of your lower abdomen so that you look more like a Ken doll. That's amazing. You can bring your vision to life with AI-powered design or curated templates, plus flexible editing tools that helps you create something that truly reflects your style, especially if you are somebody that is trying to corrupt the young men of America. That's what Squarespace is really going to help you. Squarespace makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to put all that together, and you just go to Squarespace and do it all. Thanks, Braden. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Summer means freedom. And for adults, summer means work next to freedom. But thanks to Mint Mobile's summer sale, it can almost feel like the work is playtime for the adults. Right now, all of Mint's plans are $15 per month, even unlimited. Free yourself from Big Wireless and switch to Mint Mobile for high-speed data and coverage on the T-Mobile 5G network. It's so well connected, I could call from anywhere. Deep from well within my bunker, where my AI-fueled robots slowly but surely toil for me, but I know for a fact I'm saving money on my phone plan. Or up above, where I'm training all of my giant Amazon female warriors who will fight in bulletproof mesh. Also, honestly, Mint Mobile's really cheap and it's really reliable, so you should use it. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's mintmobile.com/LPOTL. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 per 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigabyte hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com. In the United States of America, there's a break-in every 26 seconds. That means somewhere, right now, an intruder is getting closer. The problem is most security systems only alert you after a break-in has already started. That's too late. Choose SimpliSafe to secure your home. Using the Outdoor Camera Series 2 and advanced AI alerts, SimpliSafe's U.S.-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them, stopping crimes before it starts. That's real peace of mind. They've got a really great security system that makes sure people don't get in your house or it makes a big noise. And to me, that's a big deal for me, is that it protects all of our yelling with a siren in our studio, which is one of the most important things that can be protected. I don't care if thieves come and kidnap us. I don't care if marauders come and steal our staff and bring them to another country against their will. As long as our words aren't affected, as long as our precious data isn't affected. And SimpliSafe does that. And for that, I say, God bless you, SimpliSafe. God bless you. God bless you, SimpliSafe. God bless you. Experience greater peace of mind with SimpliSafe, now available with an exclusive discount for our listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplisafe.com/LPOTL. That's half off at simplisafe.com/LPOTL. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
But for our Mothman series, we're going to focus on where else but the Mothman's home, Point Pleasant, which has a grisly history all its own. Ooh. Like most states that are anywhere near the East Coast, West Virginia saw its fair share of wars and battles with native tribes in the 18th century. And when it came to Point Pleasant, their most violent and consequential conflict was Lord Dunmore's War.
Oh.
Lord Dunmore.
You thought you were going to escape history. Nope.
No, we got it again. I thought we were talking about the Mothman.
We'll get there, but it starts way back. Right before you remember anything you want to talk about it that's interesting.
Yeah.
You just got to wait a couple of 100 years.
Okay.
Before you get to it. It's really important.
Right.
Well, fought mostly against the Shawnee and Mingo tribes between 1771 and 1774, Lord Dunmore's War was a fairly typical conflict for the time. As far as Lord Dunmore himself went, he was Scottish by birth and blood and wore a kilt more often than not.
That's cool. What do you mean Scottish by blood? Does he have diabetes?
No. Scottish by blood is more like, I think it's kidney failure.
Oh,
from
yeah.
Scotch. But also, there's something about the affectation of a man with a kilt.
Yeah.
In Scotland, it's great. It makes sense.
Yeah. But I would say in West Virginia, it's not going to make that. It's mosquitoes.
Yeah, the mosquitoes get all up in there. Your perineum is going to be all dotted up, full of bites.
Your weirdly pasty knees, your weird knobby legs, just like covered in bites and soot.
Ugh. Lindsey Graham calls him his ladybugs.
Boy, you're really into that.
I'm not into it. I just think about it all the time.
You really do.
See, it was Dunmore's belief that more settlements for the whites further west into tribal territory could not be gained through treaty or negotiation. Dunmore advocated instead for total war, which inevitably resulted in the murders of innocents.
Oh, yes.
See, even though Dunmore's main enemy were the Shawnee, a group of settlers methodically murdered a family belonging to a friendly tribe named the Mingo. In retaliation, a Mingo chief named Logan killed and scalped 30 settlers, and thereafter joined the Shawnee against Lord Dunmore. Dunmore therefore signed treaties with other tribes in order to wipe out the Mingo and Shawnee for good. The killing continued from there, but the bloodiest battle of Lord Dunmore's War was fought at where else but Point Pleasant.
Interesting.
In a bloody hand-to-hand battle that lasted for hours, the body count reached into the hundreds, and both sides reportedly took scalps from the dead. The battle resulted in yet another treaty and effectively ended Lord Dunmore's War.
Well, it was the beginning of wigs for men who were balding.
Perfect.
But in 1777, after the American Revolution began, a Shawnee chief named Cornstalk, remembering Lord Dunmore's War, favored neutrality between the Americans and the British. Another party within the Shawnees, however, favored siding with the British, naively hoping that the Brits would live up to promises of no more settlements that encroached on Shawnee territory.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely the guys that started the colonies in the first place.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no, we're dumb.
Lord Dunmore.
Now, the former grounds of the Battle of Point Pleasant had since become Fort Randall, and the commander, Matthew Arbuckle, decided to take any Shawnees he found as prisoners because they were leaning towards supporting the British.
And you should have seen his army of cats.
John Arbuckle.
John Arbuckle.
Oh, yes.
Garfield.
That's Matthew Arbuckle. I guess that's his great-great-great-grandfather. But honestly, if he had those cats, I imagine they'd be very lazy.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Yes. Unless you give them the lasagna after the war.
I'm a true skeptic.
And so, Chief Cornstalk, who again favored neutrality, he arrived at Fort Randall with his young son in the spirit of friendship to ask why his fellow Shawnees were being held. Cornstalk and his son were, of course, also imprisoned.
Ugh.
But it all came to a head when 2 militiamen were murdered by the Shawnee. In retaliation, the soldiers within Fort Randall decided to murder all of the Shawnees in their captivity, including Cornstalk and his young son.
In the American tradition of overreacting.
Yes.
Overcorrection.
Yes.
It should be in our national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, as Cornstalk lay dying, he placed a curse on Point Pleasant and possibly all of West Virginia.
Now, this comes up quite a bit in all of the literature about the Mothman.
The curse of Chief Cornstalk.
Yes, this curse seems to be it weighs heavily on the people of Point Pleasant and West Virginia in general. And I do want to say, we laugh a lot here.
We have to make it through this crazy fucking life.
We do, but I do think that of all of the phenomena, of the cryptid phenomena, I think that Mothman is largely the most truly frightening.
Yeah.
And a part of it is about how serious people took this curse and how it comes up again and again and again.
Well, and you make this point oftentimes, Henry. I mean, is a curse real? Is it not real? Well, it does seem to affect the people of West Virginia because they don't have anything.
Yeah.
And I'm talking basketball, baseball, hockey. They have their main thing is their West Virginia college team. And if you fucking lose a game there, it's like losing as a soccer player in Saudi Arabia. They'll kill you.
Oh, they have to. They got nothing else. You have to win.
You have to win.
But there's something about the phenomena, this trauma of the past. We've talked about this now. The way we've been covering cryptids is like kind of talking about like where do they come from? Where is the thing that sets it off? Because I believe that it's half psychic. I'm in the John Keel school of like you kind of create some of the aspect. It's I forget what the term the Hellier crew, the Newkirks came up with, which is it's an egregore. That it's like, so it's a bunch of people.
Egregore.
It's like, it's a real term, but it's essentially, it's a tulpa live.
Okay, where did it come from? Where did it go?
Where did it come from?
Cotton Eye Joe. And that's all, that's what
Which
this is all about.
Also the 5th cryptid on Marcus's list.
Well, here's pretty much how Chief Cornstalk's curse went. He said that in the past, he had only warred on the people of Point Pleasant in defense, and that he had refused to join their red-coated enemies. Cornstalk had come to their fort as a friend, and they had murdered him, along with his young son.
You betrayed me!
They did.
For this, he said, the curse of the Great Spirit would rest upon their land. May it be blighted by nature. May it be blighted of its hopes.
All right, now.
Checks out.
May the strength of its peoples be paralyzed by the stain of Cornstalk's blood.
Can't we just get a lacrosse team or anything? Just something to bump the tourism?
And sure enough, for decades afterward, any misfortune in or around Point Pleasant was blamed on Chief Cornstalk's curse. As a side note, just to give the whole thing a new layer of grave defilement, Cornstalk was originally buried at Fort Randall, and his corpse was disinterred and moved, not once, but twice.
Why?
Just because they wanted to.
Yeah, they were trying to find
wanted
a new place for it.
Nothing else to do.
Well, they wanted to put a new thing there, and they're like, well, we got this guy here, so let's just take the guy and put him somewhere else.
Okay.
In addition, a monument commemorating the Battle of Point Pleasant was destroyed by lightning strike twice.
It's weird.
That is weird.
That's like weird. That's one of those where you're like, what are we asking
Really?
for?
Yeah. So the third time they just didn't, like the second time they was like, we're just going to rebuild it. We'll start rebuilding.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
It's fine.
Now, if the only large-scale disaster that had ever happened in and around Point Pleasant was the infamous bridge collapse that we'll cover in episode 2, then one could easily wave off this curse as just one more amongst no doubt thousands of curses placed upon this land by betrayed and murdered Native Americans.
Oh, I thought you were going to say just horrible plans on infrastructure.
But just in general, just the curses that have just come out of this country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you look at just what this region of West Virginia has been through over the last 150 years, it very well may be that Chief Cornstalk's curse was one of the hexes that stuck.
This will be the land of the fupa. The unrestrained fupa will spread across this horrible blood-soaked land.
Nothing wrong with a good old fupa. You gotta keep it warm down there.
Oh, yeah, I like to play with the bags.
In 1907, the worst mining disaster in American history occurred in nearby Monaghan, West Virginia, when 362 miners died after the mine itself mysteriously exploded. They still to this day don't know why it exploded.
Maybe it's all the flammable stuff that pulled out of the goddamn ground.
Maybe I should say they don't know exactly why it exploded.
Probably hit upon a fucking pocket of gas or whatever and killed all of them. It sounds like it's rough to be a coal miner.
It sounds horrible.
They have some pretty good guesses.
Yeah.
Then in 1944, a tornado killed 150 people just north of Point Pleasant.
Whoa.
That was fucking Lord Royale.
Well, that's what he likes to claim.
Yeah, that was because he didn't have his shoe size. He went to the Skechers store, and they didn't have, those like the round shoes.
Oh, I remember those. They were supposed to be for exercise.
Yeah, and they don't have size 6s for men's for him, and so he couldn't get them.
I have traveled back to 1944 in order to put my curse upon the people of West Virginia.
If you're still out there, Lord Royale, what's going on, bro?
What's up, bro?
When it came to the air, an airplane crashed an hour away from Point Pleasant in 1968. That killed about 35 people.
Yeah.
And 2 years later, another airplane crashed an hour south when it flew into the side of a mountain. God. That killed 75.
You just want to pull up. Pull up there.
And in addition to all that, 51 men died when construction scaffolding collapsed during the construction of a power plant just north of Point Pleasant. And Point Pleasant's entire water supply was once heavily contaminated when a train derailed outside of town and spilled thousands of gallons of toxic chemicals.
To be honest with you, if I'm a politician, I'm blaming all this on Mothman.
Oh, yeah.
Because
go right to Mothman.
That was Mothman. Yeah. Nothing to do with the deals I've signed.
It definitely sounds like massive, unrestrained, like corruption within our infrastructure systems. You know what I mean? Like,
it really does sound like regulation could have fixed a couple of these things. Yeah.
Or could it be Mothman?
Oh, and East Palestine that happened about 2 or 3 hours north of Point Pleasant.
Oh, wow. Yeah, wow.
East Palestine.
Palestine, is that how they say it?
That's how they say it.
It's like Miami in Texas. Spelled Miami.
They call it Miami.
I've said this like 20 times.
Everybody, but then you
matter.
say this, and then I'm gonna get 3 emails of people like, "Oh, actually, it's called Miami," and they say, and you're like, "I don't."
There's an umlaut over the
don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
There's only like 400 people there. Fucking nobody's listening in Miami, if it even exists anymore. Many towns that I grew up with have since died.
It is one of the craziest things as you travel across this fine country. There are just ghost towns everywhere.
Oh, yeah. But bizarre deaths weren't just relegated to the areas outside of Point Pleasant. In 1976, 10 years after the Mothman flap and the bridge collapse, a woman named Harriet Sisk strangled her 2-month-old daughter to death after Harriet tripped and fell while carrying her. Of course, the baby was crying. She wanted the baby to stop crying, so she strangled it to death. But the story doesn't end there.
Okay.
She buried the child with the help of her husband, Bruce, in a shallow grave.
Maybe we should try a deeper grave.
Yeah, it's always a shallow grave. If you're going to kill somebody, don't half-ass the burial.
This is the time to put the work in.
Absolutely.
And soon after, she confessed to the murder after the child's grandfather reported the baby missing. 4 days after the confession, however, Bruce Sisk showed up at the county jail to fulfill a pact made with his imprisoned wife. Carrying a suitcase and a shotgun, Bruce forced his way into his wife's cell and demanded to be left alone with her. Wanting to keep a close eye on the situation.
Wanted to keep a close eye on the situation. Why didn't they just... So he just walked in and then he pulled out a shotgun out of a thing and he's been like, back.
He just pulled out a shotgun and say, like, put me in the cell with my wife. And they kind of figured, like, all right.
We better do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, that's where we want you. That's where you would have gone anyway.
Honestly, I get it. I've been a husband 5 times.
So he was but they took the shotgun.
No.
They allowed him to keep the shotgun.
They allowed him to keep the shotgun.
This is my emotional support shotgun.
Okay, well, I can't argue with that.
Most importantly, they allowed him to keep the suitcase. And of course, all of these sheriff's deputies, they were huddled in the wall that separated the office from the cells. They wanted to keep a close eye on the situation. Bit of a looky-loo. They wanted to know what was going on.
I'm just curious as all hell.
Unbeknownst to the deputies, the suitcase was filled with 15 pounds of dynamite, stolen from the construction company where Bruce Sisk had formerly been employed.
Oh.
As it turned out, Bruce and Harriet had entered into a suicide pact that was only discovered later when police searched their trailer and found a suicide note.
Oh, I bet you dynamite had something to do with that coal mine exploding.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
No, they think it was a spark from a lantern or something like that. They thought it was a spark and just went...
You know what I will say? Dynamite didn't help.
No. And so, after just a couple of minutes alone, the two murderous lovers went out with a bang, killing themselves and 3 sheriff's deputies in the process.
Maybe I'm amazed at the way I love you all the time.
You know what was insane about this story is I looked up the archive of the original newspaper article, and the first line mentioned the bridge collapse. It was 10 years later, and they say in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which a decade earlier was the site of a tragic accident on the Silver Bridge. It was a big fucking deal.
Again, this is what happens when you don't have like a Super Bowl to celebrate. These are literally these are the timestamps of life.
Yeah, your only references are tragedies.
Yes.
Yeah. But as tragic as all those deaths were, what Point Pleasant is most known for outside of the world of cryptozoology is, of course, that fucking Silver Bridge collapse. But for us, Point Pleasant is the land of the Mothman.
Why didn't you do anything, Mothman? There's so many things you could have done.
He can't interfere.
He cannot interfere, or perhaps he is not able to interfere. Perhaps he wants to, but cannot.
And he looks at us like stupid little man, says stupid people doing stupid things.
Is that how you see the world?
Us?
Me?
View us?
No.
These little men doing their stupid little men thing.
No, I think it's real smart what you guys do.
Thanks.
I'll take it.
Yeah, real smart.
Now, the Mothman had first been sighted near Point Pleasant in 1961, 5 years before the Mothman flap that made the Mothman famous. That night, a witness said that he was driving down the road when a winged figure appeared before him.
Whoa!
The creature unfurled its wings, and apparently the wings spanned the entire length of the road. They were huge.
Awesome.
Then it took off like a bottle rocket, straight up into the sky.
See, the way I view it, because the Mothman will do this move many times in these sightings. It seems that wings unfurl, but the way they always talk about it was, again, not like a bird. It looks like a bird, but a lot of them said it's closer to what they felt like a machine, where it was extending itself, and then they kind of watched it just lift up. So it doesn't go. It doesn't fly. It just does a thing where it's like slow moving, where it's just very in a kind of like an obvious display.
Yeah,
which we hear a lot of times when people talk about UFOs.
Do you think he's trying to court a mate?
Well, the idea it wants to be seen.
Yeah.
Is there I hope he's not super lonely, the Mothman.
Oh, he's extremely lonely. No one ever listens to him.
Oh.
Well, nothing was seen of the Mothman for 5 years. Or perhaps it might be more accurate to say that nobody talked about seeing the Mothman for 5 years. 1966, however, was when the Mothman mania truly began. The story begins at an industrial waste site near Point Pleasant that was used by teenagers as the local makeout spot, a place to go parking, as us small-town folk like to put it.
Yeah, and we were from, I'm actually from an Italian-American New York, so we used to call it porking.
Yes, indeed, I know you did. Nothing like the smell of human waste to really turn you on when you're with your hottest chick.
And it's not human waste, it is chemical waste, my friend.
Oh, it's even worse.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Actually, I don't know if it is worse.
It is worse because it can give you cancer.
Oh, yeah. You know, honestly, yeah.
No one gets poo-poo. No one gets poo-poo cancer.
No, as a matter of fact, you're supposed to take other people's shit and jam it inside of you to stop cancer.
What?
Yeah.
Fecal transplant.
Yeah,
it's
fecal
like
transplant.
totally real, dude.
It is a fucking pervert, doctors. I don't believe in a single thing.
I don't want to know.
Keep your uncle's shit out of my butt. I don't
It's
care.
a real thing.
You ain't putting. Oh, I spend how much on healthcare each year for you to come and put somebody else's fucking shit in my butt?
This is why we're gonna die. We're gonna die yelling.
Yeah.
All three of us.
I put my shit in your fucking butt.
There you go. Just trying to help you out.
I still think my last words are going to be whoop.
Yeah. That's great.
Oh, fuck.
See, back during World War...
My last words are going to be, did I do that?
Yes, I do think so. Yes, exactly. And then you're going to watch a Hoover Dam explode. It's like, whoa, shit.
Well,
he did do that.
See, back during World War II, munitions plants were built all across America, and Point Pleasant was chosen as the site of a TNT factory. They got to build it somewhere.
Yep.
These plants were not only dangerous, but highly toxic as well. This site in particular was named one of the 10 worst polluted sites in the entire country in 1983 because it had been leaking toxic waste into Point Pleasant's groundwater for who knows how long. Maybe even since it closed in 1945 because they just closed these places up and just left them.
So far, no one has said yes to a TV show. This is our travel show. We go to the most polluted places in America.
I love it. Worst places in America.
Yeah, that's
I tried to
nice.
pitch this to Adult Swim a long time ago and this is true, where I wanted to do worst places in America, where it was me, Holden McNeely, and an MMA fighter that we would book. And then we would go to the worst city and go to the worst bar and the worst restaurant in the worst cities that we could find and then do that.
That's nice.
And
I
then
love
see
it.
if we can make it.
I love the idea.
Now, exposure to all of this chemical waste can cause bitter tastes, burning eyes, and discoloration of the skin and hair. But it does not cause psychosis or hallucinations. So any Joe Nichols who might point towards groundwater contamination as a possible explanation for the Mothman flap can look for their spoilers elsewhere.
I don't think it helped.
No.
That's the equivalent of the swamp gas type conversation.
Yeah, which I could see group poisonings happening, but
Sure,
normally
of
it
course.
doesn't involve in this type of extremely detailed photorealistic hallucinations. I'm not really part of that.
Okay, there we go.
That's science.
You just burped like a cartoon walrus, by the way.
It's just science. I ate a full carp on my way here. Bones and all.
You must have.
No, on November 15th, 1966, at around 11:30 p.m., Roger and Linda Scarberry and another couple named Steve and Mary Mallet, and maybe it's probably just Mallet.
I think it's Mallet.
Yeah.
It's West Virginia.
Yeah.
Just go Mallet.
They were riding around in Roger's 1957 Chevy near the disused abandoned TNT factory.
I call it the finger popping wagon.
There you go. What a joyride it is.
See, it was considered good fun to wind around the dirt roads that connected the bunkers of the complex. But just as the couples drove past the old generator building, they saw the telltale red eyes of the Mothman on the side of the road.
And I remember I was watching a documentary called Search for the Mothman that has one of them, the original sightings, and there's just like, dadgummit, them red eyes, they weren't supposed to be there. And you're like, yeah,
I believe that.
Yeah, it's a giant Mothman. Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely.
From what they could tell, the creature had gotten one of its wings caught in a guard wire, and it was trying to pull itself
Son
free.
of a gun!
Really?
Damn! Like just yelling like my father. Son of a gun!
So it is a little vulnerable, kind of like Ghostface, a little screamy.
Yeah, they also noticed that at the Mothman's feet was a dead dog. That dead dog will become important later. Now, from what they could estimate, the creature was nearly 7 feet tall, and its flesh was colored as that of a white man. The wings, despite... Yeah, because,
I got it.
I
We know.
understand.
The wings, despite being caught on a fence, were described as angel-like and ashen, 10 feet across if they were an inch.
I'm not going to come.
It's his
I know
turn
it's
of
a
phrase.
colloquialism. It
It's a
just doesn't make any.
colloquialism, yeah,
It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. It's one of
10
those.
feet long. If it was an inch, well, what the fuck does that mean?
My therapist asked me because I realize as a tick, I say the term not to be anything
You
in
do,
terms of like not
yeah.
to be an asshole or whatever. And my therapist finally was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
I realized I've just been saying it for years.
I've often wondered that myself. I know when you say not to be anything, you're about to say something like an asshole.
Something's coming out. Something's coming out.
Something's definitely coming out. Like,
I'm not trying to offend anybody.
Yeah.
It's a meaning.
Yeah.
So-
Yep.
From there, however, the description of the Mothman gets a little less sexy than from what you might imagine.
Yeah, because we always, in our minds, remember, the audience has been poisoned. Not just by, we sexify everything.
Yeah,
and
sure,
most of your
sexy
representation of Mothman that you see, a lot of times, big pectoral muscles.
Oh, yeah.
Cut
Absolutely.
abs, huge cock. We did it.
Yeah, well, one of our artists did it in our first Z2 comic. There was
Yes.
a pinup of sexy Mothman.
Sexy Mothman.
And there was a massive bulge in that banana
of
hammock.
course.
Massive.
Really, of course, because no one really wants a 3-incher somebody you marry.
Yeah.
A harbinger of doom indeed.
Well, the Mothman was indeed man-like, but it had no arms, and it walked around like a penguin.
That's the thing, it's all legs. So the original Mothman, so remember when you're seeing Mothman, it doesn't have arms.
But it's
Yeah.
wings or its arms.
Its wings are its arms, or a lot of times it's attached to its back, but they are, it's like cousin it, with two big eyes in the center of it, and these flappy wings shooting out to the side.
Okay.
It also had no distinguishable face, and it seemed to be headless apart from those massive round eyes.
There's some people that believe
far
it was
more disturbing than what it's made out to be in the media.
But this is where the Mothman's a giant bird thing is that what they're saying is that it's like, it might be perspective issue.
Sure.
Where like a vulture whose head is positioned, and if you're looking a vulture dead on, its head is within its body because you're just seeing it straight on. Where they're thinking maybe the Mothman's head was lower and the thing. But I'll also tell you what, people don't like things with no heads.
I agree with that.
This whole book is about seeing things with no heads. People don't like it, so I understand. But again, this is me trying to imagine that the Mothman's a bird, and I don't even fucking think it is a bird.
Now, the couples in the car sat there watching it for a bit, somewhat mesmerized. But when it seemed like they startled it, they got the feeling that this creature might react aggressively. They have no fucking clue what it is, and it's massive.
Well, it seems like it needs help.
Yeah, well, I mean, but even so, if a cornered animal is often the most dangerous.
Yeah, look at me.
But when they started to feel it might get aggressive, they started screaming, go, 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 go. But the driver found himself unable to do so. While they did have the ability to speak, they were physically paralyzed.
Very similar to a UFO scenario.
Mm-hmm. They were only able to move once the Mothman got its wing loose, and very quickly, Penguin waddled back to the generator building.
I wish I didn't have to walk like this.
Some believe that that's where the Mothman made its home.
Oh, yeah, and
that
they
was
got
the Mothman's
doxed.
house.
I hope so.
Well, once the couples were able to break free from their hypnotic state, they got out of there as fast as they could, but little did they know that the terror was just beginning. As Roger sped out of the TNT plant's winding roads, he found that the Mothman had returned and was keeping pace with the car, even as Roger reached speeds of up to 100 miles an hour. And all the while, even over the hysterical crying inside the car, they could hear a screech that sounded unsettlingly like a giant mouse.
Now, I was trying to, what does that mean?
Like,
that's what noise, that's what that's what they
No,
make?
that's more of a guinea pig.
Well, have you ever heard a mouse in a glue trap? That's like, it's like a pitch that you almost don't hear.
Yeah, like,
It's like high and
lot
low
like
at
that.
the same time.
Yeah.
Fun noises with the boys.
Mothman then began toying with them. Just as they believed that the Mothman had lost interest, they'd turn a bend and find the Mothman waiting ahead of them.
Toxic.
As if to show them that no matter how fast they went, escape was impossible. Again and again, the couple would find Mothman waiting ahead, sitting on signs.
Miss me? Oh, over here. More like over here.
Leave us alone.
He'd be sitting on signs or flood walls, and as soon as the headlights hit him, he'd shoot straight up into the air.
Bye-bye. It's very much similar to Alan Cumming. If you've ever spent any time with him, the actor. Little man.
Yeah.
You never know where he is.
I believe that.
You're just thinking of him as Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, indeed.
Wow, yeah, I forgot he was Nightcrawler.
Yeah,
He
that's,
was
that's all
Nightcrawler.
you're thinking of.
I was thinking it was the MC from Cabaret.
Ooh. Well,
Yes, indeed. I love that movie, Cabaret.
Well, the last time they saw Mothman, it was crouched with its wings tucked behind its back as if to signal that the game was over.
Yeah, like, I'm done.
I'm done.
Okay, I'm not here for you.
He's bored.
You interrupted my night.
Yeah. Now, even though what they just experienced was objectively bananas, the couples immediately drove to the nearest phone, the one at Tiny's drive-in.
He was actually very big.
I believe that.
And they reported to the sheriff what they'd seen.
I saw the
Wow.
very solemn face of the woman that was like who saw this first Mothman sighting. And this is one of those issues where like people always like, oh, you know, they just trying to make that Mothman money. And you're like, no.
There's no
They're
money
from
in
West
Mothman.
Virginia. They didn't know what money was. Like they don't even know. They literally dig toxic rocks out of mountains until they die for money. So the idea of a concept, there's a part of me that thinks like, you know, it's just extremely imaginative for a woman that looks like Abraham Lincoln. And so she's there just been like, I've never seen something so mysterious and enigmatic. And you're like, I believe it. You look like you didn't know what the fuck. But she did drop it. She's like, but I know what I saw.
There
I was with my husband at the time, and he was 2 fingers deep, and I can't lie. I can't lie when he's so deep inside.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely, you can't. You can't lie when he's up to the knuckle. No, that's the truth zone.
Oh, he's using that trigger. He's using that trigger finger.
It's the court of law truth zone. Give her the truth zone.
Oh, yeah, you mean like Smith & Messon?
Okay, great.
Now, the sheriff did accuse the couples of being on drugs because this was, after all, 1966. But he did take them seriously enough to send some guys out to the old TNT plant. While those officers found nothing concrete, one swore that he saw shadows circling the plant. Most interestingly, the dead dog that was on the side of the road was now gone.
Ooh, that was dinner.
This, however, I don't think it was dinner.
You don't think so?
Well, I'll get to it later. I got a theory. This, however, was only the beginning of the Mothman flap. And for some reason, Mothman began to target one of the passengers from the car chase, Linda Scarberry.
Now, I actually have this is a clip of John Keel talking about one of what if he believes are one of the attracting factors to a Mothman. Like what makes a Mothman riled up. And he talks about the stories that he believed there was a blood truck, like where people would go and give blood. And a blood donation mobile. Yeah. And that there was this is where this starts, where he saw, there was witnesses who said they believed that they saw a Mothman trying to attack this blood mobile, but it goes a lot farther than that.
All right.
And this thing hovered over the blood mobile. They first they sensed it, and then they looked out the windows and looked up, and whatever it was a huge thing. And they thought that some like claw-like things were descending and going to grab the bloodmobile.
This is John Keel.
And he drove out of there. Then there were a number of other cases that tied it in with blood. What cinched it for me was in talking to female witnesses, I would ask them about their menstrual period. And a lot of these women who claim to have been chased in automobiles were having their menstrual period at the time. And that seemed to me to be a major clue of some sort.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, you never know, Marcus. I mean, honestly, don't
Back
go to
off, man. I'm a scientist.
He also then goes on to say it's very similar to the cattle mutilations.
Yeah,
where the cattle mutilations are sucked dry of blood, and he just loves the word anus as well. But he's a scientist. He's a social scientist. Died a bachelor.
Yeah.
Be careful. If you're bleeding from your asshole, Marcus, we're canceling our show in West Virginia.
My asshole has not bled in a very long time.
Fantastic.
I found a medication called mesalamine. I just have to take these massive pills every single morning, and no blood. Haven't had blood in years.
So it just keeps it's a pill that keeps the blood inside?
That's a whole nother mystery.
It doesn't keep the blood inside. It keeps the wound from bleeding, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know how
we
it
don't
works.
know.
Because I would say it makes more sense if it went up your butt.
See that
And
there's
it'd be like a plug.
There's actually two ways that you can do it. I did use the suppository for a little while, but the thing is about suppositories is that like it actually gets tedious after a little while.
Shoving stuff up your asshole.
Shoving something up your asshole every single day.
Yeah, it gets tedious. I
would say so. Yeah,
I mean,
you're not.
if it's not a vibrator and you're not like on vacation on your anniversary.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it gets to be tedious.
Yeah, and finally I just asked my gastroenterologist, was like, isn't there like a pill or something? And she's like, oh yeah, absolutely.
I just thought you
just go right to that. I would.
Yeah, why didn't you just give me the pill in the first place?
Well, she knew you were going to have fun with the asshole.
Yeah. It's because you used to sit on that cone, that parking cone. Just bring it around wherever you went.
She's like, well, the suppositories work better. And it's like, well, start me on the pills.
Yeah.
And if the pills don't work, then
on.
let's kick it up a notch.
Well, this is actually going to be great when you go to prison and you have to deliver the most important message to the mafia boss. You can suitcase like a motherfucker. You'll be able to get that right up in there.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Okay, traumatized. Let's move on.
But maybe it was her menstruation.
Yes, it was. So the menstruation. Now, the Mothman, is he mosquito-ish? Does he need others' blood to survive?
I don't think so.
Well,
okay.
I mean, there is a local legend that is vampiric, but we'll get to that later.
Rise from your grave.
This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. It's so important to remember with the busyness of the holidays, every holiday, Arbor Day, that day about the planet, President's Day. There's so many things to adapt to in this life, and it doesn't follow a perfect plan. God, ruins the whole weekend. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, it can be a space to pause, reevaluate, and adjust to any unexpected changes. With over 30,000 therapists worldwide, BetterHelp is one of the leading online therapy platforms, having served millions of people globally. BetterHelp makes it easier to fit therapy into your routine. You're in good hands, too. BetterHelp therapists have at least 3 years and 1,000 hours of hands-on experience, and hold all required education, training, and certifications. It's easy to do, and the help is better over there. You don't have to navigate life's changes alone. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/lastpod. That's betterhelp.com/lastpod. The first few weeks back at school set the tone for the rest of the year. iExcel helps kids build confidence and get up to speed fast. iExcel is an award-winning learning platform that helps kids truly understand what they're learning, whether they're building math confidence, strengthening reading and writing skills, or reviewing science concepts. We know our little Carmelita is doing extremely well in chemistry, to the point where we're almost concerned. Her experiments are taking her to the edge of knowledge and bringing her to questions of not whether she can do what she wants to do, but whether she should. And Wendy's learning a lot about the Civil War. And from pre-K through 12th grade, iExcel offers personalized interactive learning that adapts to each child's level and pace. Like it balances Wendy's love of chicken with her love of the Civil War. But it's still wonderful what iExcel helps her to get leaps and bounds beyond the other children at school. iExcel is used in 96 of the top 100 school districts in the United States. 96 of the top 100! Studies show kids who use iExcel score higher on tests, and also higher on whether or not they're going to get any snackies after their main dinner. Make an impact on your child's learning. Get iExcel now. And Last Podcast on the Left listeners can get exclusive 20% off iExcel membership when they sign up today at iexcel.com/left. Visit iexcel.com/left to get the most effective learning program out there at the best price. Is there anything better than a summer evening outdoors? Enjoy your space to the fullest with new greenery from Fast Growing Trees. I love a big, thick bush. Fast Growing Trees is America's largest, most trusted online nursery, and they can send me a big, thick bush any time of the day. It arrives at work. It arrives at my car. I can pinpoint on a Google map where it is. Send me a big, thick, brown bush. And they send it immediately when they have it, because sometimes the shaver comes to town. I remember one time I ordered a cherrywood tree from Fast Growing Trees. And my God, I couldn't cut it down, no matter what my father told me to do. I had to lie to him about it. And next thing you know, I became the first president of the United States of America. And even you can become the first president of the United States of America with Fast Growing Trees. Right now, get up to half off select summer planning essentials, plus get an additional 20% off your first purchase with code LEFT at checkout. That's an additional 20% off at fastgrowingtrees.com with code LEFT at checkout. Offer is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, Linda Scarberry became one of John Keel's go-to interviewees when it came to his Mothman research, and some people therefore suggest that Keel's influence may have colored Linda's perspective.
I mean, he's probably the only person calling her, right?
No.
I just want to say it's just been so nice to be a part of this Mothman experience with you. It's just so good. Again, if you want to come by anytime, obviously I got a lot of time in my hands.
Yeah, you're lonely.
I just don't really because these walking stumps, they don't follow themselves.
No, they don't. It's up to you, Keel.
God, I just could use a little kiss.
I know. It's
a
sad.
tiny little one.
I'd imagine he got one or two long hugs from Linda after some visits.
I'm sure he did.
It's just hard to be a man who's saddled with the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah. But even so, Linda did believe that the Mothman haunted her for quite a while after that first night. About a month after the chase, Linda said that she saw the Mothman sitting on the roof of her house with its arms, legs, and wings folded around itself, which is interesting because when she first saw the Mothman, there were no arms or legs.
Oh.
Shape-shifting.
Yes. That makes sense. Shape-shifting.
Neutrinos.
Yeah.
We're talking about neutrinos with Bigfoot. This is all tied in.
Mm-hmm. Mothman was looking at her through the window, but Linda said that the Mothman did not seem threatening. Linda felt that he was trying to communicate something, but even though he was not threatening, it was still a Mothman, and she was too scared to understand the message that he was trying to give to her.
No one will let me flirt.
It's just you're scary.
The bridge.
Yeah, it's just real scary.
Well, again, if the guy's just screwing about the bridge all the time, you're just like, fucking, again, let's just get to know me. Ask me questions.
Why the bridge?
Absolutely.
When the bridge?
Absolutely. And
what
of course,
the bridge?
and
Which bridge?
Where, and of course, where, yes.
Linda also said that she and many others started seeing UFOs in the area after her experiences with the Mothman.
Interesting.
Although her UFO experience was one of the more unique ones. She said that her UFO looked like a blooming rose of many colors.
That's cool.
Yeah,
it's like psychedelic.
Yeah, it's very psychedelic. She said it was brighter and more brilliant than anything she'd ever seen. More colors than colors, if you get my meaning.
Yeah,
well,
dude.
I am actually going to channel the sheriff here. Was she on drugs?
I feel like she could have been on toxic TNT fumes.
Yeah.
Now, Linda said that she knew of at least 40 people who also saw the Mothman during the 13-month flap.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of those people saw him more than once. From this, she believed that there may have been, in fact, many Mothmen.
The concept of birdmen as a whole is a big part of cryptozoology and this, whatever you call this, cryptid world. There's a lot of birdmen out there. John Keel believes that there was at least, he said he recorded himself 100 sightings of the Mothman, and his view was that meant there must have been at least 3 or 4 times that amount of people who had actually seen the Mothman.
The number I heard was 1,000.
I mean, it's got, you can say
Now,
anything.
you know what I heard? What I heard was
you can literally say anything, any amount.
I do kind of now think that someone had just said anything.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
It's what's great about it.
It's amazing.
But by Linda's estimation, and this is an interpretation I'm willing to accept, the Mothman.
So it's your interpretation of her estimation.
It's my.
This is solid evidence.
Science.
It is my interpretation of her estimation. Yes, the Mothman had no ill intent, nor did it do anyone any harm.
No.
Really, all it did was scare the hell out of people.
It's just its nature.
Now, Linda did go a bit far when she was interviewed by author Donnie Sargent, who wrote another Mothman book called Mothman, The Facts Behind the Legend.
There's so many Mothman books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think isn't there one called Mothman Evil Incarnate?
Oh, yeah. I have that one. I have the other one who's Mothman Speaks. There's the Mothman's Photographer 1 through 3.
Wow.
There's like a bunch of different, you got the John Keel Mothman books. It's there's a lot of literature.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Mothman's Wife.
I got both.
The girl with the Mothman tattoo.
I just bought that.
Yeah, I love that one.
See, as I said earlier, Linda had gotten quite close to John Keel over the years, and she therefore got pretty deep into the part of the Mothman storyline involving the Men in Black. Linda believed that the Mothman was actually used as a distraction from various Men in Black activities in the area. Specifically, she believed that there was a secret plan by the Men in Black to whisk children away and quote-unquote shape their minds.
Oh my God. But I know for a fact that Men in Black were actually the smokescreen. They were the ones there, again, former Nazi scientists that had their brains broken by MK Ultra training. And now they're there to distract everyone while the Mothman trying to warn everybody that he wasn't there about the bridge. He was there about the Nazi UFO program in West Virginia.
So she thought they were just whisking kids away to change their brains. Isn't that the military? Isn't that what they do when they go to your high school and be like, hey, you can get out of class. All you gotta do is give us your life.
But Henry, you say so much about the Nazis. You say so much about UFOs. But Linda Scarberry has a much different interpretation. She claimed that a man in black appeared in her daughter's room when the child was just 5 years old. And the only reason why the MIB didn't take the baby was because there was a crucifix in the room. So there is also that to consider when listening to Linda Scarberry.
It's nothing but facts.
Honestly, every first date in West Virginia. We just had it.
But maybe because all this sounded so crazy, Linda was reluctant to discuss Mothman with anyone except for the professional paranormal and Fortean investigators who came to interview her.
The truly trustworthy men.
Because everyone in Point Pleasant, despite their recent embrace of the phenomenon, which I find to be a bit hypocritical, they made fun of her for talking about the Mothman.
What seems to be sort of a self-protective measure, where you're sitting there and you're like, I can't even believe she believed in a Mothman. Meanwhile, all night they're just like sitting scared, being like, is that his red eyes? Is that his red eyes?
Absolutely. I mean, it's too scary to believe in.
Mm-hmm. Linda actually just wanted everyone to leave the Mothman alone. Because if the Mothman wanted to harm anyone, it would have done so already.
Absolutely.
I mean, at the same time, Mothman chased a bunch of people driving. That's very irresponsible of the Mothman.
Well, it's kind of fun, though, as well. He's just much like dogs will chase a car. He's still just an animal. He wants to have a good time.
He won't even know what to do if he gets a hold of it.
No, he wouldn't.
And I'll also get into maybe why, the rational why, as to Mothman's chasing of cars.
That's all I seek.
But here's the most mysterious thing about Linda Scarberry's experience with the Mothman. Donnie Sargent asked her if there were any details about the Mothman that she had never shared publicly, never shared with anyone. And she said, yes, and she never will.
Oh, baby. She about to have a couple of moth kids.
Why didn't she tell?
Yeah, it's going to be, and she had a bit of an experience with some mothballs.
Oh, baby, you want to spread that right in there, put it, I got a bright light, you spread that wide open, and the moth kid's going to fly right out of you.
All she has to do is tell us her secrets.
She fucked Mothman.
She can help us.
She had sex with Mothman.
I
That's why she'll never tell.
I haven't heard about the dick and balls.
We don't know. I mean, sex can happen without a dick and balls. You heteronormative fucking piece of
butthole
shit.
to butthole?
However you want to do it. Elbow to elbow?
You know what? That's the thing, Henry, is if butthole to butthole does exist, then that means that you had sex with your dog the other night.
Oh my goodness. You farted in Wendy's butthole, but we don't talk. Also, you may have just saved her life. We were
put my shit in her shit.
You put your shit in her shit because she was having some tummy issues, and you're a steel trap.
We are, we were butthole to butthole, but not. I had pants on.
Yeah, and for more details about that, go watch the archives of Laugh Stream on the left.
Thank you.
Yes, last stream on the left.
I was wearing pants.
I know.
Now, just after the chase scene at the TNT plant, the story of this mysterious flying creature got picked up by a paper in Ohio. The copy editor was a big fan of the Batman TV show, but since he couldn't call the creature Batman, he decided the next best thing with wings was a moth, hence Mothman.
Because Mothman is also it's great branding.
It is.
A moth is creepy in its way because we don't know what they do. And they're slow.
But also neutral. Like when I see a moth, I don't really freak out. Mosquitoes, you hate them.
Mosquitoes.
Flies are like, can you stop? But a moth, you're like, all right. Well,
no, it'll
eat your shit, though.
Cute.
It'll eat your clothes.
I hate moths.
Do you?
They're kind of creepy.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I had a moth infestation in my room for some reason or another. And when I would go to sleep at night, I was the warmest thing in the room. So the moths kept pinking me on the head all night long.
Right. Well, Marcus, we don't know all of your past trauma before we start talking. So
we don't know
have to take that into consideration.
I'm just saying.
Did anyone else, were any other rooms in your home that it wasn't fully? You had all like a ceiling and stuff.
Yeah.
And any other rooms have moths?
We all grew up middle class. Yeah, I had a ceiling.
Yeah.
He wasn't he wasn't
but
in the
any
barn.
other rooms in the house have moths? No, just yours. Okay. So.
No,
I think it might have his activity, and God knows we had it under the bed.
So he had a gremlin outside of his window and a bunch of moths in his room and Ted Bundy pictures on the wall. I wonder why your parents were worried.
Yeah, they're just being like, I don't know if he's going to grow up to take over the ranch.
They gave up that dream long ago.
Yeah, just something with Marcus as he's just licking rocks. I just don't know if he's going to be the rancher boy we needed.
I don't know if he's going to be in charge of the land.
You know what's nice? Me and my mother used to go rock collecting together.
It's really sweet.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
No, I'm connecting with him. I'm not making him weak. God. I'm connecting with him.
Thank God your parents were exactly who they are.
Very proud.
Yes.
Wonderful people.
I love them.
But that's the interesting thing about Mothman is that it was not the people who named the creature. It was an editorial decision.
That is interesting.
It's the same thing. It's very funny. That's like, get me pictures of the Spider-Man.
Yeah, that is interesting, though.
Now, of course, the people involved with the first encounter became a laughingstock, and I'm sure they spent the next weeks, months, and years yelling, I know what I saw.
And what's the point of just laughing at it? I feel like people like this make This is why life is fun.
That's why it's fun.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that some people take the fun and they turn into their own fun, and their own fun is really mean. Like, hey, Linda, you seen any Mothman this today?
Oh, that's true.
Let me guess, Linda, you're menstruating. You know how them moles come around when you got them blood panty.
But even with the ridicule that came to Linda and the rest, more and more people began reporting encounters with the Mothman. On the same night as the first encounter, a man named Newell Partridge was 90 miles away, relaxing with his dog Bandit while watching TV.
Oh.
Suddenly, the TV switched off and Bandit went nuts. Newell went outside with a flashlight, only to find two large red eyes staring back.
Don't mind the red eyes.
Bandit leapt to attack whatever it was, but both the Mothman and Bandit disappeared. Bandit paid for his overeager response and was never seen again. But I like to think that Newell Partridge was a mean old man who didn't treat Bandit as he should have been treated, and that the dead dog that was seen on the side of the road, that was Mothman's dog. And Mothman was sad because his dog had died. And so Mothman was just replacing his dog with a new dog that needed rescuing. And Bandit was Mothman's best friend from that day forward.
Just let him have it.
That's conjecture.
Yeah, let him just have it.
That's conjecture.
He's allowed to. He wrote the script.
I think that the only thing that Newell was remotely close to nice to was that dog.
He might have been, but I'm just saying, let him have this. This allows Marcus to exist.
I imagine the Mothman to be a friendly character in my mind.
We've all established he's neutral at worst.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a blood-eating, he's not a blood-drinking monster.
Yeah.
He's not a monster. He is a psychic phenomena that is becoming physical because it is a collective unconscious response to a possible gigantic tragedy
But
happening.
he ate Bandit, and he ate that other dog. He did.
No, just think of Mothman with a little dog named Bandit.
I mean, that's cute.
Yeah, but there's no one's seen him with dogs other than dead dogs.
And you think it's all cute and nice, and then he's just like, meet my wife, Bandit. You're like, ugh, you're fucking it?
You're the one that brought bestiality into this.
You just bring bestiality into
when
it.
There's no evidence of the Mothman committing bestiality.
There's no evidence that the Mothman likes dogs.
Oh, I know how to drain Bandit, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, he farts in his dog one time, all of a sudden he's an expert.
I didn't mean to.
I know.
Well, the next night, a couple named the Wamsleys and their friend Marcella Bennett, along with Marcella's infant child, they were on their way to pop in on a friend who lived near the TNT dump. The friend wasn't there, but as the group started walking back to their car, they saw the Mothman lurking behind their vehicle. The creature slowly rose from the ground, but to them, he did not have the same Caucasian flesh color. He instead appeared to be gray, but he still had the same unsettling red eyes. That's the thing that's constant all throughout. Again, everyone was paralyzed, although Marcella Bennett was so scared that she fell over and she fell on her baby.
Yeah, this woman, I did see an interview with her, and she was just like, and I'll be frank, I thought I killed it. But I was paralyzed and I felt like a plank right on top of it. But you know what? You'd be amazed at how many inches a baby can officially squish.
Oh, yeah. Baby's very flexible, pliable.
Finally, though, the Mothman stood up and extended its massive 10-foot-long wings.
Yes.
That seemed to break the spell because the witnesses immediately ran back to their friend's house to call the sheriff. When he arrived, though, the Mothman had long since flown away.
Honestly, this was a fun town to be the sheriff in.
Oh, this guy,
he's a real Ghostbuster.
It truly must be very, it's boring.
But remember the Pennsylvania Bigfoot flag?
Cops hated it.
They
were mad. They were mad because, again, they just thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
And they didn't want anybody, because, again, what does the sheriff love to do more than anything else?
Sit.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, the idea of having to get out of the car and showing up, you have to go out in the brush.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to get your shoes dusty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's obviously illegal to file a false police report, but these they're not false police
They're
reports.
saying they saw a thing.
Yeah. Now, as it usually happens with flaps, there were dozens of other paranormal goings-on happening at the same time as the Mothman flap. You had UFO sightings, poltergeist activity, and such and such.
Yes, so literally, people seeing what I said before, people seeing weird Cyclops things, people seeing weird things in the woods, other characters showing up, and a lot of ghost activity.
Yeah. But the Mothman sightings themselves were curiously inconsistent, although I want to make it clear that I don't say that with a skeptical tone. One person described the Mothman as a brown human gliding through the trees, while another said that it was only 4 feet tall instead of the standard 7. But while the height changed, this is interesting, the 10-foot wingspan always stayed the same.
I do think it's because it's a number that people can choose to try to explain that it had very big wings. Because, again, scientifically, if it was a big fucking bird and it had the body of a human, the wings would need to be like 30 feet long for it to fly.
But on the other hand, I did pose this question to you earlier. I wonder if the people that made those calculations took into account the fact that a bird's bones are hollow.
I was going to say that.
I don't know. I don't know if they are insufferable pricks. I don't know.
But that's why a bird is a little bit lighter.
Well, still others said that it wasn't bird-like at all, but it was more of a flying humanoid. Some people that saw the Mothman flying around Tiny's drive-in, they said that it had like legs dangling down.
Off the side of it like it was on the Batman ride.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like when you used to get toys as a kid and their legs would start to fall when you would fly with them. I used to tape them so they didn't fall down. I was very precious with my toys.
As you should have. But it's very creepy in that way because they say it again, the way it operated was really strange. People had very specific things of what they saw, right? They said these, and there's something too, because again, I think a lot of it could be equated to, people also said it looked like a kind of like a man in a suit. You know what I mean? Like, this is the time traveling human beings shit we've been talking, we were maybe dealing with right now with the whistleblowers, like with the UFO disclosure movement, talking about like some of the stuff might be time traveling human beings.
Yeah.
And I thought you were going to say it might have been all the opioids.
That was before the opioids.
Yeah, this is pre-opioid.
Oh, yeah, this is way before the opioids.
Clear-minded West Virginians.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say clear-minded.
Well, but,
not oxy.
Not oxy.
Not oxy.
Not
just
oxy.
straight up just mountain ignorance.
Yes, indeed.
Well, let's not malign the people of West Virginia too much.
I mean, good old booze.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Booze.
No, people live in normal lives, and Laura Linney makes a joke in the Mothman prophecy. She's being like, yes, we had homes. They don't live on farms, and Richard Gere was like,
That's amazing. Can't believe that's the most incredible thing. This Mothman keeps calling me. This Mothman is calling me all night. I can't sleep.
And then he pulled that gerbil.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Right.
Great. Well, I mean, to put my skeptic hat on, just briefly.
Well, it's on.
Yeah, it's on. I mean, this could be explained by simple psychological phenomena.
Of course.
I mean, it could be that, this is a game of telephone that's going on, is that one person describes seeing the Mothman, and then, of course, since our brains are designed to look for patterns, people are thinking about the Mothman, so they see a strange pattern that looks kind of like the Mothman.
That's the Mothman.
Yeah, so that's the Mothman, and that's what the Mothman looks like to them. That could very well be the case, but that does not discount the original sighting of the Mothman.
You don't fucking keep me in the pen. I know what's going on.
There you go. A skeptic's cap is now off.
But the one thing besides
it actually
pants
are down.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Well, the one thing besides the wingspan that stayed constant was that the Mothman loved chasing cars. It could keep up at any speed without showing any signs of fatigue or strain.
Look how fast I'm going.
Yeah.
Look how fast I'm going.
There's something very innocent about this. If you're the Mothman, that's what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
They drive around for fun. He chases the cars for fun.
He's doing
it's
his
pretty
own
par for the course.
That's what he's doing. He's cruising.
Yeah.
But here's where we can get into the cryptozoological interpretations of the Mothman itself.
Now, again, I'm going to apologize immediately for this very classic reductivism.
Oh,
I mean, very complex topic.
Well, it's Mothman Redux. That's the episode.
See, they both share the reduct. They just share sounds. Similar sounds.
Hell, technically, I'm a master of the English language.
Well, cryptozoologist Mark Hall claims that Mothmen began appearing in the 60s because of the ubiquitous nature of cars. Oh. His theory is that they don't actually chase cars, but rather use the artificial air currents to fly further and faster with less energy.
It's just Tokyo Drift? They're just drifting?
They're just drifting.
Yeah. Can I say that is stupid?
Yeah, I feel like that is stupid.
But just the idea, because I feel like that we'd see a lot more Mothman
all the time.
We'd see them all the time.
Also, why wouldn't they follow trains or planes or
anything else?
That's too fast.
That's too fast.
Well, trains would be too slow. An airplane's too high. But yes, you do
They
wonder why you
fly.
wouldn't see them on the highways. But perhaps that's too fast.
Yeah,
but on the other hand,
No, it's not
they're
too
going
fast.
100 miles per hour.
It's not too fast.
I actually think that man is making a false correlation. Yes, the increase of cars does exist with the increase of Mothman sightings, but these are just two. It's a spurious relationship.
I'm just
at
saying
best.
we're attacking
I
him
just
already.
think I actually really think that's dumb.
It is, but we're attacking him. Let's hear his point.
Let's hear his point. Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, because Hall, he doesn't refer to the Mothman as Mothman.
Okay.
He does not think it is a moth, nor does he think it is a man. Instead, Hall believes that the
I hate this.
I don't like this guy. I mean, I don't mind. him.
This next bit infuriates me.
Sorry. Okay. Hall believes that Mothman is a giant.
Well, I got to hear what this is now. All right.
It's a giant owl that he calls Bighoot.
He says the Bighoot. I hate the Bighoot.
It's an owl named Bighoot.
I hate the Bighoot.
Right.
I mean, it's a pun. The pun works a lot better when you see it written down than when it's said out loud.
Bighoot.
Because otherwise it'd be like Bighoot.
Bighoot, which means nothing. The Bighoot.
The Bighoot.
I hate
the Bighoot.
It is because again, it sounds like a chicken deal.
It
So,
really
have you ever
does.
had the Bighoot and
Bighoot.
Jackies? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no,
it also sounds like you went to the doctor and you got 3 days to live, and they just call it the Bighoot.
Or yeah, you got one good tit.
Yeah, it's a Bighoot.
You want to do that, Mama Bighoot is doing a lot of the flirting.
A goddamn owl, huh?
Yeah, Bighoot.
Yeah,
All
these
right,
ideas that
Bighoot.
like the Bigfoot, the people that say that the Bigfoot is an undiscovered primate that we don't know, understand, or some kind of former descendant, an actual descendant of humankind that is like, it's quote unquote hiding for its own good. It understands our nature and doesn't want to be near us. That his idea is that the Bighoot is something like that. That it's some kind of primordial giant hoot that exists in it. And I guess understands things better than others' hoots.
Okay. Well, I guess.
Because I'm just calling them hoots now.
This
'Cause I
guy's
think
got his.
any type of bird that ain't us, it's either a squawk,
What's the point?
a chirp, or a hoot.
It's a hoot. What's the point? Just have fun with it.
Yeah,
you know?
he is
He's
having
allowed.
fun. Well, I don't know. That's the thing. I
No,
think
he's not having fun with it. He's like, it's an owl.
He's
It's a big hoot.
it's a big hoot.
Well, Bighoot is having fun with it, you know.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Well, to bolster this supposition, Mark Hall used the same source that a lot of cryptozoologists use. Hall points towards local tribal legend, which ain't a bad place to start when you again consider the gorilla.
But and also giant birds within tribal tradition are extremely it's a lot. It's really but that whole subject I didn't actually really understand how important it was to a lot of their folklore.
Oh, yeah. Now, according to local tribal folklore, reports of giant, bizarre birds around Point Pleasant have existed for centuries.
Big squawks, big chirps,
Big hoots. The names of these creatures translate to either flying head or big head, depending on the tribe.
These are cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
These creatures are described as being huge, bodiless heads covered in long hair, sporting sharp claws like nails, and, of course, fiery red eyes. As opposed to your friendly neighborhood Mothman, though, these creatures were also vampires that induced illnesses so they could feast upon the dead.
Well, why? I mean, all right. I mean, I guess, but wouldn't that taint the blood? Wouldn't that be like eating a hamburger after you drop it on the ground?
No, it's a head. It's got the blood's going nowhere. If it drinks blood, it's a giant head.
No, it's making the blood bad. So, because that's the thing.
It'll kill the person.
It kills the person.
But then
because it
doesn't
wants
that
the person
taint the blood?
No, because it's the one that tainted it.
Big heads don't have a direct biological corollary to anything. It's just a head.
It's just a head.
Yeah. So it's just all of
this is a story.
This is a story.
This is just a total make-believe.
Yes. Well, it's folklore.
Folklore, yeah. It's like the Kelpie.
So I would say this is a make-em-up.
It's an old story.
It's an old story, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be a metaphor for something.
Who knows?
Sure.
I don't know.
Could be.
Most interestingly, though, flying heads and big heads were considered to be harbingers of doom.
Okay.
Just as the Mothman would soon himself be considered.
And there's other cryptids that are also a part of it. I did a little bit of research into it, but I'll just say it just because there's really not much. But the blackbird of Chernobyl is another bird-like cryptid that was seen. What they said in the lead up to the Chernobyl disaster was that people were seeing this giant thing outside of the nuclear power plant. And I don't know whether or not this is all of these things kind of slamming together. And retrospectively, people looking back, thinking about Mothman, thinking about these things that they saw.
Right.
But people seeing giant bird-like creatures with glowing red eyes is kind of an international phenomenon.
All right.
Now, Mothman haunted Point Pleasant for 13 months, and John Keel estimated that, okay, this is where people just gave me a make-em-up number. They said that John Keel estimated that there were over 1,000 Mothman encounters.
He's just saying, I think that John Keel is just saying there's a lot.
I think
There's a lot. It's potentially 1,000.
I think the guy who was writing about John Keel just said there was a lot. I think it might just be 100.
John Keel is just, he's a showman.
He is a showman, but
Yeah.
I think it's closer to 100.
You heard his talk.
Yeah.
We really should get to the facts here.
Yeah. Well, they saw.
Just the facts.
Well, they also had dozens of UFO sightings, heavy poltergeist activity, and of course, visits from the Men in Black. But some believe that this entire flap was all a CIA Black Ops experiment to see how Americans might react to a Cold War flying saucer disinformation invasion.
Program.
Okay.
And considering the kinds of shit we did with MK Ultra and all the rest of the experiments we performed on populations, both large and small. Remember, we gassed New York City.
Yep.
That isn't a bad guess.
No.
What's interesting about this theory, though, is that the loudest proponent, an author named Jim Keith, died mysteriously during a routine knee surgery after he fell off a stage at Burning Man.
Yeah. That never happens.
Wait, what year was that?
I don't know.
And that is only
Burning
that thing about this. There's other things too. David Grabius, right, who's the director of the Search for Mothman documentary.
Yeah.
He was supposed to go to interview John Keel in Point Pleasant for his 2002 documentary, right?
Yeah.
And they were going to fly Keel from his Manhattan home to West Virginia
Wow.
to do the taping, right? But guess what? He didn't make that flight. He didn't go because his flight was canceled because the day he was supposed to fly, September 11th, 2001.
So yes, again, spurious. But what would be, and then how do you, and then you got to do it. So what does that mean? So what's the
9/11.
combo? I know 9/11, Mothman, guy was going to interview John Keel.
Coincidences?
Coincidences. Okay, great.
So you're saying it's a coincidence?
Are there any coincidences?
I think there's actually a strange amount of coincidences.
Jim Keith died after the 1999 Burning Man, which I would imagine would have been a pretty sick Burning Man.
To be honest with you, that's pre-corporate Burning Man. That would have been fun.
Before
True
no one
Burning
knew
Man.
what Burning Man was.
Yeah.
That's Mad Max days, Burning Man.
Oh, and also the publisher of both his and John Keel's books, Jim Keith and John Keel's books, he died needlessly in a hospital while being treated for food poisoning.
Yep.
People die.
There's no such thing as coincidences, not in this life.
No.
It's just so wrong.
Everything happens for a reason. Henry Thomas, don't you understand? It's like, yes, I know you couldn't be famous. You're not being famous. But think what you get to do, you get to spend so much time with your family.
Yes, indeed. Who wants to be in Paris drinking wine with whole cylinders of cocaine?
And I will quote something that I recently read, watched, or heard. I don't remember where it was from.
He takes a lot of information.
Yeah, I do take in a lot of information. I believe in coincidences, but I don't trust coincidences.
Thank you. 9/11. You know what also
it just
is difficult?
doesn't matter.
You know how you know also someone is truly difficult? If they call it 911. That's how you know someone is a difficult person.
But
But
of
of
course,
course,
in
that
that
was-
conversation
that
because
was-
they believe that by saying 9/11, they are contributing to a
false narrative,
a gigantic, what do you call it? Magic ritual, and a false narrative. Yeah, they call it 911.
Well, that's great. That's a good way to protect yourself.
Yeah,
Just know ahead of time before you take that job. If your boss is saying 911 all the time, if he's talking about 9/11 a lot,
and if he's talking about it in the job interview,
yeah, you'd be like, hey,
my
what's this
God.
about? Is this at the museum? Like, if it's not a job at the museum, then you should.
Right.
But regardless of what the Mothman was, why all of this was happening, or who was behind it, there is still the very real matter of the bridge, which is where we'll pick back up next week for the conclusion to our Mothman doubleheader.
And we're going to have so much more absolute ironclad proof that Mothman was at 9/11 and did nothing.
But
But no, we'll get into more wooey woo, but also kind of like cover more of these cases. And then again, we're bringing in our old buddy, Indrid Cold, who we haven't really gone into full depth.
We've actually never really covered Indrid Cold at all.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. And also, I'm horrified of heights, and for that reason, I don't like bridges. So from that perspective, it'll also be scary.
I also hate bridges.
I just get so nervous because, all you do is turn the wheel one way, you're gone. And then the idea of it collapsing is just so fucking scary.
Oh, yes. Very, very.
Speaking of scary, I'm going to be in Las Vegas on Sunday. So come and check me out on Wise Guys Comedy Club. That'll be July, I would think, what is it, 23rd or something?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, just look at the Sunday after July 20th.
If you're listening to this 5 years from now, I'm not there.
No.
So that's why I always feel weird, like plug, because he's lived forever.
But it's good to do. It's good to plug for now, because then the audience can see a time capsule of what our lives were like before everything went wrong.
Yes.
But then we have, we're supposed to be doing a panel. You've already seen us if you're at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. We did a panel this morning. If I'm there, it means SAG allowed me to go. I'm currently pending, trying to find out whether they're going to let me go.
The only thing scabby on me is my knees after a fun weekend, because we are not going to be breaking none of them picket lines.
No, man. We
fuck
do not.
those studio execs.
I am not a fucking scab. We fuck the studio execs. I don't want to help them one bit.
Yep. Fuck Universal. Please share the photo.
Unbelievable.
Please share the photo of the trees that Universal Studios cut to deprive the strikers of their shade. And by the way, those trees were owned by the city of Los Angeles. They were not owned by Universal. They did that on purpose in order to break the strike. Fuck them. Fuck every single one of them. Unions forever.
Unions forever. Completely agree with it.
Pieces of shit.
But and then with that energy, join us next week for our subathon. We're doing for LPN TV presents The Grindhouse. And what we're doing is a full-on parody of everybody's favorite show from the mid-90s to the 2000s.
Eric
It was
Nies,
96
baby.
to 2003, The Grind. We're going to be debuting some pilots of our new Twitch shows. And
Do we have Daisy Fuentes?
No,
we don't.
Her
She
life,
has not answered.
Her life is going far too well to come participate.
Well, that's good. I'm actually happy she's doing great.
We are actually going to have a bunch of guests, special guests, and new shows, and we are doing that twitch.tv/Last Podcast Network from 10 to 10, July 29th. Come and check us out. It's free to do so, but we're looking for your sub because we're trying to build our own fucking shit over here.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening, and thanks for listening to all the shows here on the Last Podcast Network and our little serious shows that we do on Mondays and Tuesdays. Okay, hail yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Hail game. Magostalations.
Hail me. No, please don't suck my menstrual blood.
I'll suck your menstrual blood.
That's mine.
That's my blood. Hey, Mothman, that's my blood.
That's my blood.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.